Today we'll be learning about solving a quadratic equation by completing the square method. Before we have already learned factorization method. So today we'll learn about completing the square method. Okay. Let's do one question. Question is here. Question is square plus 4x minus 5. We have to convert it to perfect square. Okay. So we'll learn how to do that. Let's see. So let me write that x square plus 4x minus 5 equal to 0. Okay, this is a quadratic equation given to us and we have to solve the value of x by using completing square method. Okay, so the first step that you do is you divide the x coefficient by 2. That is the first step. So x coefficient is 4 here, we divided by 2. That divided by 2 we always do. Okay, and we get 2. Okay, so after doing this first method, what we do is we do x plus this number, what you get here, that you write whole square. I'm telling you a shortcut way. I will explain you why we are doing this. So x plus this number, whatever you got, you put that, and whole square you put, and then you always subtract the number what you got here, square of that. Okay, so square of that. Good guys, and then this minus 5 we write at the end, and of course equal to 0 is there. Okay, let me explain you why this is correct. So have a look here. Okay, why this thing is equivalent to this stuff? Okay, when you expand x plus 2 whole square, what you get is x square plus 4x plus 4, and this thing is minus 4, so we get minus 4 minus 5. So all this stuff we have actually done just by adding and subtracting to the equation. So basically we have balanced the equation, right? So now the question is, why did we do this thing? Because we will have to think the number what to add and what to subtract. So that is why I told you before, whatever be the x coefficient here, you always divide by 2, and whatever number you get here, that you put as x plus that number and square that, and minus this number you square, and rest you keep it as it is. Okay, that is how we do that, and that's how we will do all the questions, so that not to get into these complications. Okay, so x plus 2 whole square, I am not going to break it because we had to do it by completing a square method. So we have actually completed the square, and this is minus 4 and minus 5 equal to 0. So x plus 2 whole square minus 9 equal to 0. Okay, and because you have to solve for x, so minus 9 you will bring to the other side. So x plus 2 whole square equal to 9, and then you bring a square this side, making the square root. So we will get x plus 2 equal to square root of 9 would be plus minus 3. That is very important guys, it will not be only 3, it would be plus minus 3. Okay, so square root 9 is plus minus 3, and so x will be equal to plus minus 3 minus 2. So taking positive 3 we get 1, and taking negative 3 we get negative 5. So basically we have got two values of x, 1 and minus 5. These two are the solutions for x, and we solved it by using the completing square method, right? So hope it is clear. Let's do another example for that. Let's solve this question. 3x square minus 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Now here we have a little change. We'll understand how to do that. So whenever you have x square coefficient, okay, first of all you make that independent. Okay, there should be no number with x square. Okay, so for that we will have to divide all the term by 3 just to remove the x square coefficient. Okay, that is the first rule. In the last example there was no x square coefficient, it was 1. Okay, so I'm dividing all the term by 3. So plus 2 over 3 equal to 0 over 3, which is 0. By doing so, we get x square minus 5 over 3x and plus 2 over 3 equal to 0. Right, guys? Okay. So this is in the form where x square coefficient is 1, which we wanted. Okay. Now the first step you do is, I always told you before, x coefficient, whatever is there, you divide by 2. So negative 5 over 3, I'm dividing by 2, will get negative 5 over 6. Right? So this number what you get, we'll use it as a perfect square. So have a look. So we'll say x minus 5 over 6, because the number is minus 5 over 6. So we'll just put the number. Okay. And we square it. And you remember we had to subtract the number. So now we'll put subtraction, and then the square of this guy, negative 5 over 6 thing, you have to put it as a square. So negative 5 over 6 with square. Okay, please understand, there will always be a subtraction, and whatever the number you get here, you square that. Okay, hope it is clear. Then we write down the next term which we had, which was 2 over 3 equal to 0. Okay, that makes it simple. Let's simplify. X minus 5 over 6 whole square, and while doing that we'll get minus 25 over 36, and this is plus 2 over 3 equal to 0. And we'll bring these two terms on the other side. We have to solve for x. So x minus 5 over 6 whole square equal to 25 over 36 negative 2 over 3. Now guys, please understand, we'll have to make the same denominator. So we'll multiply up and down by 12. So we get 25 minus 24 over 36, which is 1 over 36. Okay, x minus 5 over 6 whole square equal to 1 over 36. Now in the next step what we do is, we bring the square term to the other side. Have a look here. So x minus 5 over 6 equal to square root of 1 over 36. It is actually positive negative, that is plus minus 1 over 6. So x minus 5 over 6 equal to that. And then we bring negative 5 over 6 to the other side. We get x equal to plus minus 1 over 6 plus 5 over 6. Taking positive sign, we get 6 over 6, and taking negative sign, we get 4 over 6. So the value is 1 or 2 over 3. So these are the two values of x. These are called two roots. We solved it by using completing square method. Good. Let's move on to next example. Have a look at example 8. Find the roots of the equation this by method of completing the square. Again we have x square coefficient is 5, so we'll divide each term by 5, both side. Okay, so we get 5x square over 5 negative 6x over 5 negative 2 over 5 equal to 0 over 5, which is 0. So we get it x square negative 6x over 5 minus 2 over 5 equal to 0. The same process we will do, guys. X coefficient here is minus 6 over 5. So this number we divide by 2. So I hope you understand how to divide that. So you will get minus 3 over 5. Okay. So we got minus 3 over 5. So we'll use this for completing the square. So x number, because this is negative, so we'll put negative 3 over 5 whole square. And we always subtract with the square of this number. So we put negative 3 over 5 square of that. And then at the end we'll write this constant value. So negative 2 over 5 equal to 0. Hope it is clear. Let's simplify. So x minus 3 over 5 whole square minus negative 3 over 5 whole square will be 9 over 25. So minus 2 over 5 equal to 0. We'll bring the terms on the other side. We'll get 9 over 25 plus 2 over 5, and this is x minus 3 over 5 whole square. Simplifying that, we'll get multiply up and down by 5 to make same denominator. So we get 19 over 25, and then square will come to the other side. So we'll get x minus 3 over 5 equal to plus minus square root of 19 over 25, and we know square root of 25 is 5, so it basically becomes square root of 19 over 5. Okay, now we'll solve. Minus 3 over 5 will bring to the other side. So x equal to 3 over 5 and plus minus square root of 19 over 5. So basically we have got two values of x. One is taking the positive square root 19 and the other is square root of 19, 3 minus square root of 19 over 5. So these are the two values of x. Okay, so these are the roots of the equation we solved by completing square method. Good, guys. Let's move on. Remaining questions you can do. Let's do one question here. That's a nice one. Very important. We'll get different kind of result. Question number 9. Example 9. Again the same thing. Whatever be x coefficient, x square coefficient, you have to divide by that so that you get 1 as x square coefficient. So 4x square over 4 plus 3x over 4 plus 5 over 4 equal to 0 over 4, which is 0. So basically we get x square plus 3x over 4 plus 5 over 4 equal to 0. Now same method, whatever be the x coefficient, we divide that by 2. So 3 over 4 being divided by 2, we get 3 over 8, and then we use it as a square. So x and this number is positive, so plus 3 over 8 whole square, and we always subtract the square of that number. So 3 over 8 square, and at the end we write down the constant. So plus 5 over 4 equal to 0. Let's solve it. So x plus 3 over 8 whole square minus 9 over 64 plus 5 over 4 equal to 0. And these two terms will take to the right side. So we get x plus 3 over 8 whole square equal to 9 over 64 minus 5 over 4. Let's make same denominator, guys. We multiply up and down by 16. So we get 9 over 64 minus 80 over 64. And 9 minus 80 would be negative 71 over 64. So let's solve it nicely. So we actually got x plus 3 over 8 whole square equal to negative 71 over 64. Hope it is clear. Fine. Okay. Now we have to bring the square to this side. So we get x plus 3 over 8 equal to negative 71 over 64 square root. Guys, please understand, inside the negative root, inside the root, there can be no negative value. That is called non-defined, right? Like square root of 4 is fine, it is 2. But square root of negative 4 is not defined, okay? Because there is no number which you square and you get negative 4, right? So square root of negative 4 is not defined. That is called imaginary result, okay? So this result is imaginary result, okay? It means there is no number which you square and you get negative 71 over 64, right? So basically we get x plus 3 over 8 equal to no value, okay? No value. So it means that there would be no possible value of x, because if this is no value, then 3 over 8 coming this side will again give no value, okay? Because that is not a possible case, right? No value. No value is possible, okay? Now in the beginning we had learned that in a quadratic equation we can have at most two roots. It means we can have 0 roots or 1 root or 2 roots. So in this case we did not get any value of x. So this is a case when we have 0 roots of x, means there is no value of x possible. So basically this quadratic equation has no roots. Okay, hope it makes sense, guys. Let's move on. You can see here quadratic formula is given to us. This is the third method we are learning to solve a quadratic equation. This quadratic equation, the value of x is this, minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Now we'll learn from where did this formula come. Okay, we'll see how we get this formula. Okay, so let me write down the quadratic equation first. Ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Actually, to solve this quadratic formula, we'll be using the completing square method. See how we get. Here x square coefficient is a, so we'll divide each term by a. So we get ax square over a plus bx over plus c over a equal to 0 over a, which is 0. So we get x square plus b over a times x plus c over a equal to 0, right? And you remember what we used to do? This x coefficient we used to divide by 2, right? So I am dividing b over a by 2. So what do we get? We get b over 2a, right? Okay. And then again you remember, now we will use the completing square method. So because this is a positive number, so plus b over 2a whole square, and then we always subtract the square of this number. So minus b over 2a whole square. And at the end we used to write down the constant part. So plus c over a equal to 0, right? So we'll solve that. Let's see. x plus b over 2a whole square, and this is negative b square over 4a square, right? B square over 4a square, and that is plus c over a equal to 0. Now guys, we'll bring this thing to the other side. See, we get x plus b over 2a whole square equal to b square over 4a square minus c over a, right? Now to make the same denominator, we'll have to multiply up and down by 4a so that we can subtract them, right? So we get b square minus 4ac all over 4a square. Good. Now this square thing will bring to the other side. So we get x plus b over 2a equal to plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac all over 4a square. Good. Now inside the square root, the numerator part would be in the square root, not a problem, b square minus 4ac divided by, for the denominator it is actually square root of 4a square, so it will become 2a, right? And then this plus b over 2a will bring to the right side. See how shall we get? It will become negative b over 2a. So negative b over 2a plus minus square root b square minus 4ac all over 2a, right? And combining them, the same denominator is there. So we get 2a as the denominator, and this is minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac. So guys, this is what the formula is, and we actually get it from the method of completing square, right? So let's move on with the concepts further. Now we'll be using the quadratic formula. You need to memorize this. Let's have a look at example 13. Question is, find the roots of the following quadratic equation if they exist using the quadratic formula. So yes, in this example we have to use the quadratic formula. Let's solve second part. Guys, before we do this question, let me tell you that among all the three methods, if uh, if it is not specified which method you have to solve, try to solve first by factorization method, okay? Because that takes lesser time and calculation is less, okay? With quadratic formula, all the questions can be solved. With factorization, some questions may not be solved because not all the quadratic equations can be factorized. So yes, quadratic formula is one point solution for all the questions, but factorization method is simpler if it clicks, okay? Let's have a look at number 2. Question has asked us to use the quadratic formula. So we'll be using the quadratic formula. In this equation, my a value is 1 and b value is 4 and c is 5. So we'll use that minus b square root b square minus 4ac all over 2a. So negative 4 plus minus b square minus 4ac. So b square is 4 square minus 4 times 1 times 5 all over 2 times a is 1, right? So we'll see minus 4 plus minus square root 60 all over 2, and we get minus 4 plus minus square root of negative 4 over 2. And we can see here in the square root we have got a negative value. So it means there are no solutions for this equation. Okay. Please don't misunderstand with, like when I said no solution does not mean we cannot solve it. It means we have solved it and we have got no value of x. Okay. So never think that quadratic formula has failed in this question. Quadratic formula always works, and we have got there is no value of x which is possible in this equation. Okay. So we have got no solution. There is no value of x possible. No solution or no roots is the same thing, right? Have a look at number 3. Again same concept. A value is 2 and b is negative 2 root 2 and c is 1. So we'll be using the quadratic formula. So we get negative b. So it is minus 2 root 2 plus minus square root of b square. So b square will be negative 2 root 2 square minus 4 times 2 times 1, right? And all over 2 times 2. I'm just plugging into the formula. So we get positive 2 root 2 plus minus square root of minus 2 root 2 square means the square is on 2 as well as root 2. So 2 square is 4 and root 2 square is 2. So 4 times 2 is 8 and it will be positive minus 4 times 2 times 1 which is 8 all over 4. So we get 2 root 2 plus minus 8 minus 8 square root is 0. So we get 2 root 2 over 4. Hence 2 cancels, 2 and 4 cancels. So we get 1 over square root of 2. We have got only one value of x, right? Okay. This is another example, like here we got only one value of x. So any quadratic equation can have no value of x or one value of x or two value of x, right? Okay. Let's move on. Have a look at exercise 4.3, question number third part, 1/3 part. Okay. We have to do this question by the method of completing the square. So we'll see how to do that. So first of all, 4x square plus 4 root 3x plus 3 equal to 0. So guys, remember I had told you x square coefficient should be 1. So in this case we will divide all the terms by 4, 4, 4, 4. All terms we are dividing by 4. So we get x square plus square root 3x plus 3 over 4 equal to 0. Right? Okay. And then the first step is whatever be the x coefficient you divide by 2. So square root 3 has been divided by 2. Okay. Now we'll use the completing square thing. So we get x and this number we'll use. So plus square root 3 over 2 and we square it and then we subtract the square of this number. So is square root 3 over 2. We square that plus lastly we write down the constant part, so which is 3 over 4 equal to 0, right? We'll just simplify it now. So x plus square root 3 over 2 whole square minus this is root 3 square and 2 square, so it becomes 3 over 4 and plus 3 over 4. equal to 0. Hope it is clear, guys. Now minus 3 over 4 and plus 3 over 4 will be cancelled. So we are just left with x plus root 3 over 2, and this square, when it goes to the other side, it will become square root of 0. Anyway, square root of 0 is just 0. So we'll solve it. X equal to 0 minus root 3 over 2, which is minus root 3 over 2. So this is also one case where we have got only one value of x, right? Let's move on. Have a look at number 3, second part. 1 over x plus 4 minus 1 over x minus 7 equal to 11 over 30. We'll solve it. Please stay focused. In this question, we'll have to make the same denominator. So I believe you know how to subtract. So you will get x minus 7. I'm putting a bracket because there is subtraction sign, x plus 4, right? And the denominator gets multiplied. So x plus 4 times x minus 7 equal to 11 over 30. X minus 7 minus x minus 4 over, when we multiply, we will get x square minus 3x minus 28 equal to 11 over 30, right? So minus x plus x finish, we get negative 11 over x square minus 3x minus 28 equal to 11 over 30. Simplifying that, 11 both sides can be cancelled, dividing both sides by 11, and then you do cross multiplication. So we get negative 30 equal to x square minus 3x minus 28, and simplifying that, minus 30 I bring to the right side, we get square minus 3x plus 2. Minus 28 plus 30 will be plus 2, and solving that, we'll get x minus 2, I'm splitting middle term, and x minus 1, okay, equal to 0. So x will be 2 or 1. Hope it is clear, guys. So these are the two values of x, 2 and 1. Yes, whenever you solve it, always look back at the conditions. Condition says that x should not be negative 4 or 7. So if you get any value, let's say if you have got minus 4, then minus 4 would not be a part of your solution, right? Anyway, we have not got minus 4 or 7. We have got 2 and 11, 2 and 1. So my answers are, my roots are 2 and 1, right? So yes. Let's have a look at question number 5. Question number 5 says, in a class test, the sum of Shefali's marks in maths and English is 30. Had she got 2 marks more in maths and 3 marks less in English, the product of their marks would have been 210. Find her marks in 2 subjects. So let's suppose maths marks are x, and because the sum of the marks in maths and English is 30, so we can say that English marks is 30 minus x, right? So maths marks is x and English marks is 30 minus x. Okay. Now the condition is, had she got 2 marks more in maths, okay. So we have a new condition. If maths marks is 2 marks more, so x plus 2, and 3 marks less in English, okay, and English marks is 3 marks less, so 30 minus x minus 3, which means 27 minus x, right? So if this happens, the product of their marks would be 210. Okay, so we'll multiply these two numbers, these two multiplications. So x plus 2 times 27 minus x, the product should be equal to 210. We'll solve that. Basic multiplication. So 27x minus x square plus 54 minus 2x. We bring 210 to the left side, so minus 210 equal to 0. Okay, let's simplify that. Minus x square and 27x and minus 2x would be plus 25x, and minus 210 plus 54 would be minus 156 equal to 0, right? Okay, let's make the x square coefficient as positive. That looks nice. So x square minus 25x, actually I am multiplying all the terms by minus just to make x square coefficient as positive. Okay, so I'm multiplying throughout by minus 1, so minus 25x and plus 156 equal to 0, right? Okay, splitting middle term, 156 times x square would be 156 x square. So what factors can give minus 25x? So let me tell you, it should be 30 and 12x. Okay, so let's simplify that. X square minus 13x minus 12x plus 156 equal to 0. So x would be, when you simplify that, you will get that, don't worry. So x would be either 13 or would be 12. Maths marks is 13, English marks is 30 minus 13, which is 17. And if maths marks is 12, English marks is 30 minus 12, which is 28. So we have two answers. Okay, 2 marks are possible for maths and for English. Okay, there are two possibilities basically. Let's try one last question, question number 9. Have a look. Let's solve question number 9. Question says, two water taps together can fill the tank in 9 3/8 hours. So it's a question of time and work, guys. Please understand. You remember, you had learned before. The tap of larger diameter takes 10 hours less than the smaller one. Okay, suppose the two taps take x hours and the other one takes x minus 10. Okay, so this is their individual timings, right? Okay, now if they are both together are working, then how much is their contribution? So the first tap, which takes x hours to fill, in 1 hour it will fill 1 over x part of the tank, correct? The first tap. Okay, and the second tap, 1 hour job is 1 hour job is 1 over x minus 10. Hope it is clear. The second tap fills 1 over x minus 10 part of the tank. Okay, now their combined work for 1 hour, so let me write that. Combined 1 hour work is how much? 1 over x plus 1 over x minus 10. This is their combined work for 1 hour. Okay, now in the question given, they both together fill the tank in 9 3/8 hours. Let's calculate what is 9 3/8 basically. So 9 3/8 is 9 times 8 is 72 plus 3, 75 over 8 hours. So when they both work together, they take this much of time. So in 1 hour, their combined work is, let me write that, combined as per the given question, 1 hour work is 8 over 75. Right guys? Because they complete the tank in 75 over 8 hours. So their combined 1 hour work is 8 over 75 part of the tank. Now from this relation and this relation, we can make them equal. So we get 1 over x plus 1 over x minus 10 equal to 8 over 75. Simplifying that, we get x minus 10 plus x over x times x minus 10 over 75. Solving that, we get 2x minus 10 over x square minus 10x equal to 8 over 75, right? And doing cross multiplication, we get 150x minus 750 equal to 8x square minus 80x. Correct? Now bringing all of them together, we get 0 equal to 8x square minus 80 and minus 150 would be minus 230x plus 750. Hope it makes sense. Now all the terms can be divided by 2. So we get 4x square minus 115x plus 375, and we'll solve for x, right? First of all, we multiply this number with 375. So 4 times 375 would be 1500 x square, okay, and 1500 would be 15 and 100. So the splits are 100x and 15x, okay. So 4x square minus 15x minus 100x plus 375 equal to 0, right? Taking x common from the first and second term, we get 4x minus 15, and taking minus 25 common from the second and third term, we get 4x minus 15 again. So my factors are 0 equal to x minus 25 and 4x minus 15. So we have two values of x basically. One is 25 and one is 15 over 4. So we'll check whether both these values do satisfy the condition or no. So x25 is fine. We'll get 25 hours and the other tab will take 15 hours. 25 minus 10 is 15. But when you put 15 over 4, when x you take is 15 over 4 hours, 15 over 4 is basically 3 point something, right? 3 point something hours, 3.75 hours. So if x is 3.75 hours, x minus 10 would be a negative number, right? So time taken by the tap cannot be negative. That is why x value 15 over 4 is not possible. So the only possible answer is 25. So the time taken by two taps are 25 and 15 hours. So my answer is 15 and 25 hours. Good guys. Hope you understand well. See you soon. Thank you.